see you, bud.
Great to see you, too.
Shot ready. We got to talk about this book. It's
Yes, sir.
fantastic.
Under the blinding lights of the NBA Finals, a man no taller than 6'2" dribbles between giants. Each bounce echoes louder than the crowd itself. A heartbeat, a story, a defiance of everything they said he couldn't be. Once, Stephen Curry was told he'd never make it here. Too small, too fragile, too unrealistic for a league built on power and muscle. But somewhere between those endless nights in a cold high school gym and the roaring arenas of the world, he found something the scouts couldn't measure: belief. Every shot he takes now, from half court, fading away, impossible, is a message to every kid who was ever doubted. A whisper that says, you don't have to fit the mold to change the world, because this isn't just the story of a man who plays basketball. It's the story of a revolution, one born from faith, failure, and fire. And to understand how he became the face of that revolution, we have to go back to the little boy in Charlotte, North Carolina, who refused to stop shooting. Before the world knew his name, before the championship rings and roaring crowds, there was a skinny kid in Charlotte, North Carolina, shooting hoops in the backyard long after the sun had gone down. Stephen Curry was born on March 14, 1988, in Akron, Ohio, the same hospital where LeBron James first cried into the world. But destiny had a different script for him. His father, Del Curry, was a respected NBA sharpshooter. His mother, Sonia, a college volleyball star. Athletic blood ran deep, but so did expectation. While other kids dreamed of superheroes, Steph's hero lived at home. He'd watch his father on TV, mesmerized by the elegance of each jump shot. After games, Del would take him into empty arenas. Just a boy, a ball, and the echo of nets snapping. But even then, there was a quiet doubt. Steph wasn't tall. He wasn't strong. Coaches looked past him, eyes searching for bigger, faster, louder. Yet in that small backyard court, beneath the Carolina moonlight, something was forming. A rhythm, a belief, a relentless pursuit of perfection. Every swish was a promise to himself. One day, I'll make them see me. His parents taught him discipline, faith before fame, humility before victory. They demanded grades as sharp as his aim and values stronger than his jump shot. And while his friends outgrew their childhood dreams, Steph's only grew bolder. He wasn't just practicing basketball. He was shaping destiny. One shot, one breath, one heartbeat at a time. By the time high school ended, Stephen Curry had the numbers: points, assists, accuracy. Everything a top recruit should have. Everything. Except height. Major universities looked the other way. Duke, North Carolina, Kentucky, all said the same thing. He's too small for Division I basketball. It was a sentence that could have ended a dream. But sometimes, all it takes is one believer. That believer was Coach Bob McKillop from Davidson College, a small liberal arts school tucked away in North Carolina. When others saw limits, McKillop saw lightning in a bottle. He offered Curry a chance, not because of his size, but because of his heart. From the moment Steph stepped onto the Davidson court, something felt different. The crowd was small, the lights dimmer, but the stage was his. He started lighting up the scoreboard, one three-pointer at a time. Soon, whispers spread across the NCAA. Who is this kid? Then came March Madness 2008. Davidson, the underdogs, faced giants: Gonzaga, Georgetown, Wisconsin. And Curry? He tore through them all, scoring over 30, then 40, then 33 points. A storm no one saw coming. The boy once dismissed as too small became the face of the tournament. Even NBA stars tuned in just to watch him play. This fearless kid who made every shot look effortless, every victory look destined. When the run finally ended in the Elite Eight, the nation had its answer. Steph Curry wasn't a fluke. He was a phenomenon. The kid from Davidson had just broken open the door to his destiny. And behind that door waited the biggest challenge of all: the NBA. In 2009, the NBA called. The Golden State Warriors selected Stephen Curry as the 7th overall pick. A team struggling, a player underestimated, a match made for transformation. But the doubts didn't stop. Analysts said he was too fragile, that his ankles wouldn't survive a full season. Injuries struck early, almost proving them right. Yet every time he limped off the court, he found a way back. Stronger, sharper, hungrier. By 2013, something was changing. Curry's shot, that quick, fluid release, began rewriting the geometry of the game. He wasn't just shooting three-pointers. He was redefining what was possible. From 30 feet out, with defenders in his face, he made the impossible look inevitable. Then came 2015. Under coach Steve Kerr, the Warriors caught fire. Curry won his first MVP and led Golden State to its first championship in 40 years. He didn't just win. He inspired awe. Kids across the world lowered their hoops and mimicked his flick of the wrist. By 2016, he was the face of a revolution. He led the Warriors to a record-breaking 73-9 season, the best in NBA history. Cameras couldn't capture his range, because even the lens couldn't follow how far he'd go. He was no longer the underdog, he was the storm. But behind the highlight reels and roaring crowds, something else was brewing. The kind of pressure only legends face. The world expected perfection, and perfection has a price. For every revolution, there comes resistance. And for Stephen Curry, that moment would arrive soon. In heartbreak, in loss, and in doubt, because even the greatest shooters can miss. For a moment, it seemed like Stephen Curry could do no wrong. The smile, the faith, the endless three-pointers. He was the face of joy in basketball. But every empire faces its test. In 2016, that test came in the form of heartbreak. After leading his Warriors to a 73-9 season, the greatest record in NBA history, they entered the finals favored to win it all. Up 3-1 against LeBron James and the Cleveland Cavaliers, the world was ready to crown Curry's dynasty. And then, it crumbled. 3 straight losses, missed shots. The image of Curry, frustrated, throwing his mouthguard, replayed endlessly on TV. For the first time, the hero looked human. The critics came fast. Overrated. Lucky. Just a shooter. They said the Warriors' success was a gimmick, and that Curry's magic was fading. Then came the next blow. Injuries. His fragile ankles returned to haunt him. The media questioned his durability, his leadership. And when Golden State signed Kevin Durant, one of the most dominant players alive, whispers turned into headlines. Did Curry need a superstar to save him? The noise grew louder than the cheers. He went from golden boy to scapegoat, from beloved to blamed. For the first time, the man who'd built a revolution found himself wondering if the world still believed in him. But legends aren't defined by the cheers they earn. They're defined by the silence that follows, and how they rise from it. For Stephen Curry, the silence didn't break him. It refined him, and soon, he would rise again, stronger, wiser, and unstoppable. When the noise faded and the cameras turned away, Stephen Curry went back to where it all began. The gym. No spotlight, no applause, just the echo of a ball and the sound of breathing. The defeat of 2016 had left scars, but also clarity. Curry realized that greatness wasn't just about winning. It was about enduring. He focused on rebuilding, body, mind, and spirit. The once fragile ankles became stronger, the faith deeper. As the seasons passed, stars came and went. Durant arrived, then left. Injuries took teammates, titles slipped away. But through it all, Curry remained. Steady as the rhythm of his shot. He no longer chased validation. He chased peace. Then came 2022. A new chapter. A new generation of doubters. The Warriors were called washed up, their dynasty over. But Curry, now older, calmer, and sharper than ever, turned every criticism into fuel. He led his team through the playoffs with silent fire, hitting dagger after dagger, each one a statement that the revolution wasn't over. And when he finally held the NBA Finals MVP trophy in his hands, tears filled his eyes. Not because he had proven the world wrong, but because he had proven himself right. He looked to the heavens and whispered thanks. To faith, to family, to the struggle that shaped him. This was more than a comeback. It was a rebirth. A reminder that sometimes you have to be broken before you can shine again. Before Stephen Curry, basketball was ruled by giants. It was a game of muscle, height, and domination in the paint. But Curry changed the equation. And in doing so, he changed the soul of the sport. He made the three-point line not just a weapon, but a philosophy. He turned what was once a desperate shot into an art form. Rhythm, timing, and faith colliding in mid-air. Kids no longer dreamed of dunking like Jordan. They dreamed of shooting like Steph. Every playground across the world echoed his name. In Manila, in Nairobi, in Sao Paulo, children practiced that same quick release, that same fearless range. The Curry effect had begun. Even his rivals admired him. LeBron James called him the most dangerous man on the floor. Kobe Bryant once said, "He's changed the way we all think about shooting." But Curry's influence went beyond basketball. His humility, his joy, his faith. They reminded fans that greatness doesn't have to come with arrogance. That being a champion could still mean being kind, grateful, and grounded. He proved that belief could be stronger than size, and that purpose could outlast fame. And somewhere in every young dreamer picking up a ball, his legacy lives. Not as the man who made the most shots, but as the man who made everyone believe they could. Behind the lights, the trophies, and the roaring crowds, Stephen Curry has always been grounded by something deeper. Faith, family, and purpose. Off the court, he's not the showman or the headline. He's a husband, a father, a believer. He prays before games, writes, "I can do all things" on his shoes. A reminder that every success is borrowed strength. Curry often says that his greatest victory isn't the championships. It's the life he builds every day with Aisha, his wife, and their 3 children. Their home is filled with laughter, cooking, and the kind of chaos that fame can't buy or control. He gives back quietly, but powerfully. Through his foundation and the Nothing But Nets campaign, he's funded thousands of mosquito nets to fight malaria across Africa. He supports education, youth sports, and equal opportunities for kids who dare to dream. When asked what drives him now, he smiles and says, "Legacy isn't just about what you do on the court. It's about who you are when the game stops." Time has humbled him. The boy who once fought for recognition now teaches others that worth doesn't come from applause. That joy isn't found in perfection, but in purpose. And as the years pass, Stephen Curry has become more than a basketball player. He's a reflection of balance, proof that you can chase greatness without losing yourself in it. Under the glow of the arena lights, Stephen Curry stands, not as the biggest, the fastest, or the strongest, but as something rarer, a reminder that greatness is not built in the spotlight, but in the quiet hours when no one's watching. From the boy in the backyard to the man who changed a global game, his story isn't one of luck. It's one of faith, resilience, and relentless belief. He showed the world that limits are illusions, that heart can outshoot height, that joy can be a weapon. Every time he steps onto the court, every time that ball arcs toward the sky, it carries more than points. It carries a message. You don't have to be who they expect. You just have to believe in who you are. And maybe that's why Stephen Curry's story matters. Because it isn't just about basketball. It's about every dreamer who's ever been told they weren't enough. And proved, through courage and grace, that they always were. When the lights fade and the cheers die down, one truth remains. Stephen Curry didn't just change the game. He changed what it means to believe.